Like what I said earlier, some studies combine both spontaneous and elicited language studies to gain a more comprehensive understanding of children's language development. So, by using multiple techniques, they can triangulate their findings and identify patterns that they may not be apparent from a single approach. So, according to Burke in 1958, a classic experimental study of English speaking children was based on the WAG test. Children were shown a drawing of a nonsense animal, like a funny creature shown in the following picture. Each animal was given a nonsense name. The experimenter would then say to the children, pointing to the picture, saying, "This is a wag." Then, the experimenter would show the children a picture of two animals and say, "Now, here is another one. There are two of them. There are two blank." The child task was to give the plural form wags. Another little make-believe animal was called a beak. When the hags was shown two beaks, he or she again was to say the plural form beaks. The children applied regular plural formation to words they have had never heard, showing that they had acquired the plural rule. Their ability to add z when the animal's name ended the voice sound, and S when there was final voiceless consonant, shown as the children were also using allomorphy rules based on the understanding natural classes of the phonological segments, and not simply imitating words they had previously heard. Also, similar eliciting were done for past tense and past tense ed and present tense s. English agreement rule add s to the verb for third person. Singular subject, he giggles a lot but we giggles a lot, except that in Italian more verb forms must be acquired. Italian speaking children between at the age of 1 to 10 or 1 year to 10 months, and then 2 to 4 correctly inflect the verb as the following utterances of Italian children show. Like for example, "Tu leggi il libro" or "you read the book" for second person singular. "Lo vado fuori" I go outside for first person singular. "Dorme meow dorme" sleep cat sleeps for third person singular. "Leggiamo il libro" or we read the book for first person plural. Many languages, including one just noted, also have gender and number agreement between the head noun and the article and adjectives inside the noun phrase. Children as young as 2 years old respect these agreements requirements when producing NPS, as shown by the following Italian example. First, "I mia gonna" or "it is my skirt" for feminine singular. Second, "questo mio bimbo" or "this is baby" for masculine singular. Third, "guarda la mela piccolina" look at the little apple for feminine singular. And last, "guarda il topo piccolino" look at the little mouse for masculine singular. Children also show knowledge of the derivational rules of their language, and these rules to create novel words, as illustrated in English, where we can derive verbs from noun. So, derivational morphology is the process of creating new words by adding suffixes to existing words. So, this process allows us to expand our vocabulary significantly. Like for example, from the noun Google, we now have a verb to Google. From the noun friend, or Facebook users derive the verb to friend. Also, children acquire the noun to verb rule early and use it often because there are a lot of gaps in their verb vocabulary. So, in children understanding of derivational rules, children demonstrate the keen understanding of these derivational rules. They can apply these rules to create novel words even if they haven't encountered those specific words before. This ability suggests that children aren't just memorizing words, they're actively learning and applying underlying linguistic rules. So here are some examples of child utterance and adult translation. First, "you have to scale it first" or "you have to wait it first." Don't broom my mess, or don't sweep up my mess. Mommy nippled Anna, or mommy breastfed Anna. Will you chocolate my milk, or will you put chocolate in my milk? Children also overgeneralize some derivational morphemes such as the er suffix used to mark agents and instruments. For instance, cooker or cook, breakers for car brakes, storyer for storyteller, mistaker for mistake maker. And also, they create their own compounds. For example, crowbird or crow, fire truckman or firefighter, mower blower for gardener, sky car for airplane rather. And I believe that's the end of my topic. Please bear with my voice because I'm not feeling well and also it's raining here in Jensen. Chokes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will discuss about the acquisitions of syntax. Syntax refers to the arrangement of words to create well-formed sentences. So the early stage here is the holoprostic stage. This is when children use one word. It seems simple, but they often carry a deeper meaning. For example, when the child says milk, they might mean I want milk. And adults often interpret these one-word utterances as attempts to convey more complex idea. Researchers did an experiment to test if babies understand the order words in a sentences. Here's what they did. The first one is a baby sat on their mom's lap, and the second one um the baby heard the sentences like Ernie is tickling bird. While watching two screens, one screen showed Ernie tickling bird and the other showed bird tickling Ernie. The researchers noticed that the baby looked longer at the video that matched the sentence they heard. Although children at this stage aren't forming full sentences yet, but research shows they already have some understanding of syntax. So, when kids are just starting to talk, they don't use complete sentences like adults do. Instead, they use short and simple sentences with just the important words. For example, they might say, Mommy sack instead of that's Mommy sacks, or Kathy built a house instead of Kathy is building a house. This stage is called telegraphic stage because their sentences sounds like old-fashioned telegrams, which only included the most important words. Why kids talk like this? There are two main reasons. Kasi the first one, they are still learning to speak. Their brains are not yet ready to use long sentences, so they focus on the important words like kung sa nouns, yung dogs, birds, play, and skip nila yung smaller words like for example yung a and za. And the second one is it's a stage in their grammar learning. At this stage, the grammar rules allows them to leave out small words. Even though their sentences are short, kids usually understand more than they can say. For example, if you ask what hit the apple or what did the apple hit, they know the difference between these two questions, even if they can't answer the complete sentences. This shows that the kids' understanding of language is ahead of their ability to speak it. So let's proceed to the important part of language development, which is the acquisitions or pragmatics. Pragmatics is the study of how language is used in context. It includes understanding how to communicate appropriately in different situations. Children must learn the rules of conversations like taking turns and staying on topic. So one of the key concepts in pragmatics is understanding pronouns. So for example, yung simple sentences, surely he loves her anyway. Without context, the sentence doesn't make sense because we don't know who he and her are. But if someone says, I saw John and Mary arguing in the park, then we can easily understand kung sino yung tinutukoy niyang he and her refer to. And then another important part of pragmatic is how children use articles. like definite articles the versus the indefinite articles a. For example, the first mention, a boy walked in, later they mention the boy was lost. Children may use the incorrectly at first. Now, when it comes to learning language, children don't just learn grammar rules, they also use clues around them to figure out how words work. For example, sa semantic bootstrapping is when children use the meaning of a word to help them understand what category it belongs to. If a word refers to an action like run, the child might guess it's a verb. And if it refers naman sa object like apple, they might guess it's a noun. While this isn't perfect, it helps them get started. But some words naman don't fit these rules. For example, is yung justice. Okay, thank you.
Good day everyone, especially to you sir. This is my topic, the accusation of pragmatics. The accusation of pragmatics. Pragmatics refers to the use of the language in context, praising the language of context and praising the social and situational aspect of the communication. In additions of the learning grammar, children must be acquire pragmatic competences which involve understanding how language appropriately in different scenarios. The humor in the refreshment cartoon lies in Joey's failure to use language appropriately within the context, highlighting her incomplete accusation of pragmatics skills. This is reflect a common developmental stage where the children are still learning how context shape communication. An, essen- an essential aspect of the pragmatics is the ability to establish clear references for pronouns for the example of the sentence. Amazingly, he loves her anyways is ambiguous unless the speaker and listener share understanding who and her refers to. If preceded by the context like I saw John and Mary kissing in the park, the pronouns against clarity. Next is the development of auxiliaries, a case study. Language acquisitions involve that gradual development of multiple linguistic components, including the lexicon, phonology, morphophonology, syntax, and pragmatics. These are components interact dynamically shaping the overall progressions of language development. During the telegraphic stage, young children often omit auxiliary verbs such as can, will and do as well as form of be and have. These omissions is characteristics of early sentences constructions while children focus on the contents words while neglecting functional elements. However, auxiliaries play in the critical syntactic role in English, particularly in forming question and negations. This example of reflecting progress as a children learn the correct placement of auxiliary verbs for the grammatically accurate sentence. The acquisition of auxiliaries also affects show children form negative sentence. By this stage, children generally place negation in the appropriate position relative to the auxiliary for the verbs be. For example, the correct is I don't like this book. I am not going. So incorrect forms such as mommy dance not or not I am going do not occurs, demonstrating children's sensitivity to the syntactic rules governing negation.